Make it a clean sweep. I got it Dallas 11-6.
Is this the screen we're using? I'm just going to be this tiny little box like this.
Tag applied. He could have kept the tag applied and not straddled homeboy. You know what I mean? He could have moved his leg. So.
Oh, it was fine. It was just.
I'm just saying.
Ramirez
I
just had a little.
it wasn't necessary.
Nothing wrong.
He didn't need to get to that extreme. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong.
Bills in a last-second field goal or a last-second touchdown by Aaron Rodgers to take the division.
He's kicking field goals too. I want to bet.
Right?
Listen, I want.
Oh, we're live? Oh, okay, well, I mean, it didn't play the intro, so there's that. Welcome to another morning LTS show. You know what it is. I am your host, Bodkins. I'm back, baby. Shout out to Sam for holding down the fort and the guys holding down the fort Thursday. I had to work a little late, but made all the picks on Thursday's show. They had some great conversation on the Titans, of course, with Sam hosting. That's all he wants to talk about because that's all his Peabot brain knows. We got a little football going already. Jags up 7-0 all the way across the pond in London over the Falcons. Calvin Ridley touchdown already, so maybe Calvin Ridley revenge game here. Full slate of games. We got the Bills and Dolphins, probably the most intriguing game to me of the day. Speaking of the Dolphins, none other than Mr. Dolphin Finn himself, Johnny Cruz. Johnny, just bring yourself in. I think Tanner stepped away.
What's going on, bro? I was waiting for the producer to handle that, but I guess he had to take a little break. What's going on, man? Anxious for this game today at 1
there we
o'clock?
Go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you now, bro. It's a great start. What's going on, everybody? Anxious for the Buffalo-Miami game at 1 o'clock. Should be a lot of fun. It's a big game for Miami. You're going into Buffalo. They had two chances to beat Buffalo last year in Buffalo and couldn't pull it off. The second one, of course, was the playoff game with Skylar Thompson, but I like our chances here. Again, if we could keep Tua upright, I think we have a chance to beat anybody. So I'm looking forward to the game today at 1 o'clock. Should be a lot of fun. And of course, Atlanta's freaking garbage, bro. Jacksonville ain't much better, but yeah, touchdown for Jacksonville. Ridley wide open over in London, and of course, there's field problems and everybody's slipping and sliding everywhere. But should be a fun day of football, man. Looking forward to it.
I feel like that's always a problem across the pond is
right.
the field. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's that soccer wet field. So I mean, we had some good college games last night. Notre Dame wins. That was the LSU game last night was insane.
Mm-hmm.
There's like no defenses were allowed to play in the LSU Ole Miss game.
Right, and these are SEC teams that are supposed to be all about defense, and you know what I'm saying, playing good football like that. It was fun to watch because it was a high scoring game or whatever. But
yeah,
it was just back and forth. That Notre Dame Duke game, though. I mean. Again, another team falls victim to the whole prevent defense thing. I've never been a big fan of that. Just keep playing this. You know, there's a reason why you held them to only 13 points or whatever it was, 14 points. You know, keep playing the same way you've been playing. You know, maybe not be as aggressive if you know what I'm saying, or pick your spots to be aggressive in, but to just fall back and let them get whatever, you know what I'm saying? That just never fails, man.
How nervous are you today with the Bills? Your Finns going up to Buffalo.
I'm not nervous. You know what I'm saying? This is a chance for, like I said, for the Dolphins, I think, to make a bit of a statement. I've always been you can't be the champ unless you beat the champ, and Buffalo's been the champ of the division for the last few years, so. I still give them their props or whatever. I still pick them to win a division, even though I had both of our records tied, just to give them their respect for having held it down for the last few years. I'm not nervous about it. I think we have a great chance. I mean, we're not going to obviously drop 70 on them, but I think our offense is playing well. We're clicking right now, and like I said earlier, if we can keep Tua upright, I think we can beat anybody. We had good chances to beat Buffalo last year in all three games. We beat them the first game. the late game, the second game up in Buffalo, and the playoff game, we were running all over them. And then Mike McDaniel would go away from the run for whatever reason. I think he learned his lesson about that.
Yeah,
give
the ball to Devon Achim.
You know what I'm saying? Just run the ball until they stop you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they can't stop the run, don't try to get cute and, you know what I'm saying, throw the ball when you can just keep running it down their throat. So I think we'll be able to have success running the ball. And if Buffalo tries to come down and stop the run, then that's when we could take our chances over the top. But no turnovers, run the ball, and I think we got a good chance to win this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's a noon game. To me, that's probably the most interesting game on the slate. The game that is the primetime game tonight, Johnny, that will be on when we're doing the show later tonight is none other than the snooze fest. That'll probably be the Chiefs versus the Jets. I get it why it was primetime beginning of the year, right? We were supposed to get Rodgers, Mahomes for the first time ever. Now we don't get that. Now we get Mahomes and Taylor Swift and versus Zach Wilson. So I don't know what interest that lives you, but I did tell you that Aaron Rodgers is going to be allegedly in the stadium in a booth. Maybe he's going to try to steal Travis's old lady. He loves T Swift too. Speaking of
he's definitely going to take some before we bring him in. He's definitely going to take some camera time from her. So we're going to have to do we're going to have to do it over under who gets more shots from the.
Who's on TV more, Aaron or T Swift? Yeah. Our mama Kelsey, I guess.
Right, because ain't nobody gonna be watching the game.
Yeah, it'll be over by halftime, I suggest. Right. So you got to speak to Chiefs. You always got to bring in our resident buffoon, Mr. Tanner Dawson.
Guys, that we had 24 million in rating against the Chicago Bears. What do you think our rating is going to be this week? Everybody wants to watch the defending champs come play football.
No, they didn't.
They want to watch Patrick Mahomes when we play 3 quarters. They want to watch Travis Kelce in the end zone doing some kind of dance, the rodeo, whatever it's got to be. Just know that this isn't the Green Bay Packers or the Miami Dolphins, because their seasons are about to be over before you know it.
No, the Dolphin season.
They got Wembley. After Wembley, it's done. I already talked about it. We already talked about it Thursday night. I already told Johnny. I gave him fair warning that after Thursday, after that Wembley, that across the seas game, right, with Chiefs Dolphins, that it's done. It's over.
I don't like where that game's placed at either. How are they going to put that? That's a big game. Like, why isn't that game Miami or Kansas City?
Everybody was mad. Chris Jones was mad. Tyreek Hill was mad because those two were beefing before that. There's everybody's upset about it. It's a home game for us.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean that would have been a nice matchup in Arrowhead. Talk about
do that to Jacksonville.
Yeah. Possibly two undefeated teams. Miami's got to win today in a tough game. So Miami's got some tough matchups on the road. For some reason,
a Bills team
Tanner.
has caught fire as of recent, ever since their Jets debacle. Josh Allen actually looked decent last week. He wasn't turning the ball over as much like he normally does, but
the last two games, yeah.
But he wasn't playing high caliber teams. Now he gets to go against a high caliber team, a high caliber offense. I'm not gonna say defense, but offense. This Dolphins offense is going to put up points, is going to keep up with them, and it's going to be very exciting on this. Very exciting page. I'm sure we'll be talking about it later in the show for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we will, but I don't want to keep our guests waiting for some reason, because you're a Chiefs fan, you do all the guests. You're like, hey, you know what we need? We need more Chiefs in a game that doesn't fucking matter. So let's bring in more Chiefs coverage, because I thought, are we on Thursday night, Johnny? Is this the Sports Buffoons or is this the Sunday morning pregame show? But nonetheless, let's bring in our first guest of the day. He is Arrowhead Addict. He writes and has a podcast. Tanner, am I correct on saying that? I hope so. Give it up for Ken Coldharp, baby.
What's going on?
Ken! Welcome.
What's going on, man?
To the Sunday morning show.
You guys are all caffeinated and ready to go, man. Already Let's go.
Hey, that's what we do here. You come on this show. You prepared to get shot at by myself and everybody else. So we appreciate you joining us, Ken. Let's set the over under. How many times did they go to Aaron Rodgers, and how many times did they go to T Swift in the broadcast? And let's combine that with the slurping of Chris Collinsworth for Mahomes tonight. How much, what are we setting the over unders there, and who's winning it all?
In terms of
that's the only part. That's the only part of the game matters, right? Like we know that the Chiefs should dominate the Jets here.
I would say if it was on ESPN, you'd see Aaron Rodgers on there at least three dozen times.
And Pat McAfee, his name dropped at least 10 times in it.
Oh, yeah.
If it was on,
Right? Rodgers name drop all the time and just wants the camera all the time, no matter what. Like, I'm shocked this is a thing that's happening. But yeah, they're going to probably Swift since it's NBC and it's not ESPN. They'll probably show Taylor Swift about 3 dozen times. And Aaron Rodgers will probably only show him like about 24 times because this game is just going to be an absolute laugher, man. Like it's not a lot going on in this game.
Yeah, Zach Wilson is a terrible quarterback. They said he's 34 of 32 quarterbacks, and there's only 32 teams. So I don't know how you can be 34 when there's only 32 teams, but that's Zach Wilson for you.
Hey, Ken, you had a prop bet on that one, right? On your recent article.
Yeah. So I got Zach Wilson. The over under for Zach Wilson on the passing yards is 177, which is at a really low number. But if you consider he hasn't broken 170 all year, and the Chiefs have 6th best defense in the league in terms of yards per game, it's an easy under, man. Like I just expect them to just keep making Zach Wilson look like the worst quarterback in the NFL, just like he's looked the entire time he's been here. Easy stuff.
I know you're an Arrowhead guy, but and we can kind of just free for all. Why is Bob Saleh just like, you hear the reports that Jets defensive players like, hey, get this fucking guy out of here for 2 years now. I mean, last year the defense had Mike White shirts on. They were making Mike Whites, and this year they're saying, hey, get him out. Like, he's not, but Bob Saleh is like tied to the hip with this kid. Or, last year it seemed like, hey, he was like, yeah, he stinks. But this year he seems more reassertive on Zach Wilson. Why is that?
It seems like it's because it's his only option. Like, Zach Wilson is the only option they have. Like, they could pick up the slowly decaying corpse of Joe Flacco. They can trade for one of these backups, but as it stands now, Zach Wilson is their only option. And what's Bob Saleh going to do? He's just going to shit on the entire time. I mean, no, it's not going to make him play any worse, but it's like,
The crazy part about that too is that the defensive guys should know that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like there's other options. So for them to leak out shit that they're all pissed off about it, I mean, yeah, you're pissed off about it, but what is Saleh supposed to say? Like Ken said. Like, what is he supposed to say? Yeah, this fucking kid sucks. We're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Our season's over. I mean, he has to support the kid. I blame Joe Douglas.
You look at that.
Like, why don't you have a legit backup?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well,
like Aaron
Zach
Rodgers
was supposed to be the backup. You know what I mean? He was supposed to be.
Come on, man. Then I blame Joe Douglas and the organization for making that decision there. It's not like Aaron Rodgers was a spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's 40.
Yeah. Look at that draft class. So they've been off, like, outside of Trevor Lawrence, like, Justin Fields looks like it's pretty much a bust. Like, Trey Lance is on his second team. Mac has been so at times. And then Zach Wilson has obviously been terrible. So 3 of the 4 of these guys are damn near bust.
Yeah. I mean, that was more of it. I think Micah Parsons was in that class. You could have done more with that draft and picking up Zach Wilson off because of one pro day video that you saw. He made one throw. You're like, oh my God, Zach!
Right.
Yeah. Look at him. And it's like he threw the ball 60 yards. Oh man! So maybe you should probably use your scouting a little bit more in depth than that. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy. So.
Hey
Right,
Ken,
right.
so you drop articles after a day or so, a day or two, right? Depending on when it's laid out. But you drop your articles there, Airhead Attic, on the stock up, stock down area here. So last week you had the Chiefs running back room on the stock up, stock down, right tackle Jawan Taylor. Let's talk about Jawan Taylor real quick.
Yes, please.
So now it's prime time. Okay, now it's prime time. And now we all know that the refs and in the nation has it out for him on lining up, and now it's the smallest of error, and it's a flag now for him, especially in key situations, which is never weird for the NFL.
Never.
What's your thoughts here on Jawan Taylor? I know he got benched. Not that it was mattered, but he got benched with Mahomes still out there in the third quarter here. What are you thinking here on this issue?
I'm thinking that I think the NFL made their point. I think Collinsworth whined and cried enough on that Thursday night game about Jawan lining up just like every other left tackle or right tackle, I guess in this case. Like you've seen Lane Johnson do it, you've seen Orlando Brown do it, you've seen everybody do it, and
Dallas did it 3 times at least last week.
But because Collinsworth fit on national TV, the NFL had to put out a memo. They go, okay, this, we're going to start looking for it. And then the only person they really looked for was Jawan Taylor last week. And I think we got it. We get it. You made the point. You're pretending to look out for this thing. And the unfortunate thing is we're going to be in the exact same situation with Collinsworth calling this game. It's going to be the only game in town. And you already know they're going to bring it up. So there's not going to be a whole lot of interesting things about this game, but that is one thing I'll be interested in to see what Collinsworth is going to make how Jawan Taylor lines up.
How much is it a concern for us? We talked about it Wednesday night on the Buffoons, minus JG's take. Mike and I talked about the Buffoons. I'm going to minus JG for a reason in this one here. We kind of discussed like, what does this mean going forward? What does this mean for the big games, right? The Bills coming up, the Bengals coming up, the Dolphins game as well. Like those are playoff implication games. How easy could it be for the refs? Just, one big play down the way. Cause it's happened now 2 or 3 times now where we've had a big play downfield, 2 of them on MVS having the touchdown, and it got called back because he was a centimeter off the line or supposedly off the line. Right. And you don't see it get called, but how much is it a worry for Chiefs fans at the moment of this whole issue now as we enter, some big games coming up?
It shouldn't be a worry long term. This seems like one of those kinds of rules the NFL puts out at the beginning of the year and says, oh, we're going to focus on this thing. And then by week 5 or 6 or 7, it's just going to be business as usual. If this continues on past that, that's when it becomes an issue for me. But this silly thing with Jawan Taylor is just another silly little thing the NFL does to pretend they care about changing rules, and it's going to be an afterthought come later in the season.
Do you worry that it affects Jawan's play? Like if he's thinking about, oh my God, am I lined up freaking right?
Let me respond to this comment too.
What is this, Nick? What is this, Nick? Rick, what are you doing this morning?
That's what I was about to say. Is that our way? Like, wait, what the fuck? Are you high right now, Bo Nix?
Don't NFL? You know who Patrick Mahomes is? You know who Patrick? I'm sure you do.
Everybody, hold on. Bo Nix. Everybody's praying for Bo. Bo Nix is 40. Okay, I mean he's been in college longer than fucking Stetson Bennett was, and we're fucking over here. They're praying. Nobody's praying for Bo fucking Nix. Not one team is like, who's going to be our savior? Bo fucking Nix, our 45-year-old quarterback. Go get Tom Brady. Tom Brady's younger than Bo fucking Nix. Jesus Christ! Come on, Whit.
I was just lost. I was like, why are we bringing up Bo Nix and Caleb Williams in the NFL?
Caleb Williams, I understand, right? Like he's got the hype, but nobody's talking Bo fucking
Nobody
Nix.
wants Bo Nix anyways.
Still, what do you talk about? Save the NFL. Like the NFL's in any kind of trouble.
We got good quarterbacks.
Right.
Are you talking about the NFC? Do you want them to go to the NFC? Because they could use some help.
Who could use the Bears could use Caleb Williams. Maybe that's who. Maybe that's who's talking about him. The Cardinals or somebody like that. I mean, Jesus, like
he's a Steelers guy. He has Kenny Pickett right now in Pickett. He has Pickett connection.
That's why he's praying. So maybe Pittsburgh's praying for one of those guys.
divert one more
Jeez.
time. I saw a post from I can't remember who it was. Colin Cowherd, who said
God.
he would trade like Pickens, Pickett, like three or four of their best players just to get Caleb Williams. And I'm like, I hate to break it to these guys. You think you're getting better version of Patrick Mahomes, and it's not going to be a better version of Patrick Mahomes.
They need to just stop with that period. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
That's
Patrick
what they're
Mahomes
saying.
he's one of one. You know what I'm saying? They need to stop with this shit of this. You know, he's
maybe he'll lead a team.
Any type of Patrick Mahomes. Just stop that shit, man. He's all right. He's a good player. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what he does in the NFL. In college, you know what I'm saying? Like after all these years, you see what these guys put up, the numbers they put up in college. That don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? Let them.
Bo Nick's been in college since Cam Newton left Auburn. You know what I mean?
He was over there for at least 3 years.
Stayed up late, Carlos. He stayed up late, making the Seattle Mariners fans' life hell, is what I saw on Twitter. As he's a Houston fan, because the Mariners are officially out of the playoff race, so he had to stay up late. He joined Nick's Cubbies last night, as they both are now on the outside.
We're in mourning over here. I wasn't going to bring it up. Thanks, asshole.
Are you really in mourning?
Yeah, we're in mourning. The Packers fucking got their ass beat on Thursday. The Cubs are officially eliminated. I thought Iowa was going to lose to Michigan State last night, so I would have been in real.
That was close, man.
I know. They came back and won. I shut the game off, and then I woke up this morning. I was like, "How bad they lose?" Oh, they fucking won. So that was.
In breaking news, the Bulls have a losing season.
Yeah, probably so. So I mean, there's that. I guess, and I'm a Blackhawks fan now too. So I mean, shit,
I'm Blackhawks fan with you. Remember, I got told my team was for NHL this year. So,
back to football.
Yeah, sorry. Let's get back on. Let's get back to. Can you talk about
that Juwan is going to mentally be thinking about that instead of his assignment or whatever? Can it affect him mentally?
I think it has a couple of times. Like the past couple of games, he's had to take a seat, to try to clear his mind, because it does affect on you. I mean, you've been doing the same thing for 4 years, right? You've been doing the same thing for 4 years, and some jerk on the national broadcast calls you out because of something, and now you're being penalized for doing the same thing you've been doing, and the same thing that other people's do all the time. And yeah, that's got to affect you, But I think that with his coaching, I think it's Andy Heck is the offensive line coach. I think Heck and Reed are going to be able to tell him, hey man, this is going to pass. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just appease them for now, and then when it comes, down the stretch to the big time games, just keep doing what you're doing. And I think
it's bad when Reed and Mahomes speak up about an issue like this. That the NFL's. There's something wrong here, and they're like, this isn't right, guys. When they speak about it, especially in the press conferences, because they never speak about issues. So when they speak about it, you got yourself an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they were saying that he was being picked on, and Mahomes he's lining up just like everybody else. I don't know what's going on. And with how they very rarely do that loser talk about the refs. If the Chiefs lose, it's never about the refs. It's never about this, that, and the other thing. But when they bring something up, it's an issue. But I feel like that, and hopefully this week is the end of it. We don't hear about it anymore. But again, you just never know. You never know. So that's all we can do.
Nick, what'd you do?
What's up, Nick? Nick said enough of that shit. I want to talk about. I want to be by myself.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, something clicked. That's all right. Hey, also I want to talk about your stock up that I found I really agreed on, which was Mike Dana. Back there on the defensive end side of things. He's really having a great year, as now that Frank Clark's gone and everything else. What else do we expect from him this year?
I expect him to continue to be a solid starter on the defensive line. Dana, he's been a solid rotational piece since he got here. He is an unheralded guy, 5th rounder out of Central Michigan. He's had to grind for every single second of playing time that he's had, and now that he's had this opportunity presented in front of him, you're kill it. He's been killing it. He's been I think he's had a sack, half a sack every game this year, and he's just been a solid guy out there on the defensive line, and you love to see it. You love to see those fifth rounders develop, because that's the kind of thing that we're going to need to have if we're going to continue this train rolling down the tracks. And just love to see it. You love to see it.
Hey, Ken, so you're a bit on the gambling side. Is there anybody who we looking at on gambling? Who should we be putting money on, whether it be props or money lines, or who we smashing today?
Well, I'm smashing the under on Zach Wilson's passing yards. Like I said before, he hasn't broken 170 all year. They have the looks like the sixth best passing yards per game in the NFL. They are only averaging 178 a game. I think that's going to be a good one. I love the Chiefs to cover the spread. It's only 9.5. I think that
only 9.5.
It's only 9.
Actually, it went down to 8.5 last night. I got it for 8.5 last night.
Did you really?
Yeah,
that's because they heard Rodgers was going to be in the building, so maybe he's going to got a little earpiece in on Zach Wilson's. Just tell him who to throw it to or something like that. Like Zach, just throw it down, throw it away. That's the reason it went down 1 point.
Dude,
yeah,
that's even harder because the Chiefs are covering that.
Yeah,
Chiefs. If Tanner knows, when you think about the Chiefs and playing, poor competition. Sometimes in the past, you feel like the Chiefs play down to them. You think of Week 3 last year against the Colts, where it just laid a huge stinker in Indianapolis. But I feel like the difference is with this Chiefs team is that their defense gives them way more of an edge, more of to just put these bad teams out of their misery. Like you saw it last week with Chicago, and I was shocked. That they put the hammer down on them so fast and so early.
The Bears are the laughing stock of the league. I was shocked. Tanner didn't even pick the Chiefs to cover the damn spread.
Yeah, I think the Bears to cover the 12.5 because of what we've had in the past. But we've at this point of the year too, we've never had a good defense running like they are. We've had okay defenses where they give up a bunch at times, garbage points and dumb plays, the Colts game, for instance. But this Chiefs defense is just different this year at this point in the year. Usually we're Chiefs Twitter's on Twitter. We're firing Spags. We want Spags out until week 12, and then everything turns around. Then we're like, hey, Spags is a savior. Yay. We didn't get in that rotation this year. So, we went straight to, hey, this defense is good. This defense has depth. Nick Bolton's been out. He'll be out his second game today. That's our leading tackler for 2 years now, and he's not going to be out. But it doesn't matter, not because it's the Jets and Zach Wilson, because you got Drew Tranquil back there, you got Chanel back there. Willie Gay's still healthy, which is nice. It's just depth, yeah. And you use your safeties. You can use Cook come up, Reed come up. We got Jones if he's active. It's amazing for what this defense is, and that's why they cover today. That's why they completely destroy teams if that defense is good. If it's not like it has been the last couple of years, then that's when you see the Colts game come into play.
Mm-hmm. You got Cuffs McDuff getting ready to put the locks down on Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. No Jalen Watson. No Jalen Watson either.
That's all right. That's all right, man. That's all right. Who are the other receivers for the Jets now? Is Braxton Berrios still the guy?
No, Berrios is
not. He's in Miami now. He's in Miami.
Cole Hodman,
Alan Lazard,
Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb.
I think Cobb's hurt. Maybe.
Yeah,
he is hurt. I benched Garrett Wilson in my league. I got Garrett. I got stat roster, right? But I'm benching Garrett Wilson in my Buffoon league for Tank Dell. For God's sake, Tank freaking Dell, who's got 20
another interception
the last 2 weeks.
Hey Tanner, did I pick the Jacks to cover this spread? Oh my God, he found it.
I don't know, but anyways, that's where we're at, right? It's legit. It's so weird to have to bench Garrett Wilson, who I kept for a 12th rounder this year. It's
So
weird.
to Ken and Tanner, here's a question: Do you think tonight is a Rashee Rice night that you guys have been waiting for?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a Rashee Rice night. I think that, Rashee has to get his first drop out of the way first. If he gets that out of the way early, I think we're going to be all right. I don't think that the Jets defense, which is supposed to be the best defense since the 1985 Bears, is shockingly not. They are 17th in the league against passing. They're giving up 44% on third downs. I think that Rashee Rice is going to find himself with a lot of space. And I also think that Justin Ross gets his first touchdown of the year this year. I feel like that, we've been getting close. I know Andy Reid doesn't like to throw those rookie receivers in there, but yeah. I feel like this is a good opportunity for Ross to get in there as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you'll see a little bit mixed here. I mean, obviously MVS is a one big play guy, and that's about it for us. So Justin Ross hasn't really got involved. He's been out there, but not involved. Sky Moore. What can you say? But on Wednesday nights, the theme is that Mike always points out that Pickens wouldn't do what Sky Moore did, in that case. So Tony's still hurt. They won't play him much again. I mean, you got to look at Rashee Rice having to come back in and take some snaps, and especially in after the third quarter when Mahomes goes back out for his one drive, and then he's on the bench. Like, you got to look at Rashee Rice being a guy today. It has to have a step up. There's no way you can continue this season with MVS and Sky Moore leading your percentage of snaps on this team. You can't. Rashee Rice needs to be a factor. Today would be a great opportunity. Not sure how much I trust, it's weird because as a Chiefs fan, right, we want to bet like, oh, surely Rashee Rice will go off today, but then it's the complete opposite, right? Then Sky Moore or MVS or somebody else goes off. It's just classic Andy Reid ball. That's all it is. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't. I would love to see Rashee Rice. I think he needs a day like that to really gain his confidence, but good to tell you, Scott, because we don't know what Andy Reid and Matt Nagy's out there thinking of right now.
True. That Jets defense, while it's good,
it's still good.
It's good, but it's kind of overrated though. Like, they don't they don't force turnovers. They haven't forced a turnover. They didn't force hardly any. I don't think they forced a turnover all year. This year,
it's hard to play defense really great for a first quarter, and then have to continue to go out there many more times.
Yeah, every 3 plays you're out on the field. No, I get it. I get it.
You're not going to throw the ball. Like, you're not going to get turnovers if you're dead tired by the beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah,
right.
No, I get it. When every 3 play you're out there playing because your team.
I think that Jets defense is still really good, right? They still got good players. If that offense can just give them a little breathing room, and then they can maybe be more effective longer. But we talk about it all the time in college. We talk all about time, the Chiefs right here, Cincinnati, you can name it, right? If you don't have long drives, extended drives, your defense gets tired, and then you give up 70 points to the Dolphins, right? That's just what it is. That's why the Broncos get mad all the time at Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Why the Broncos get mad at Russell Wilson.
There's many other reasons, yes.
You can't. You have to. The Jets tonight have to get Breece Hall and or Dalvin Cook going. If they don't get either of those guys going, they stand no shot at even staying in the ball game for a quarter.
Dalvin did nothing.
The problem with the Jets is getting them going is their offensive line. We might as well start for their offensive line and be just as because that's how bad their offensive line is. Their offensive line is atrocious. Like, Zach Wilson's already garbage and dog shit. But when you got a hammered dog shit fucking blocking for him, that makes it even worse.
Yeah,
true.
And that's one of the reasons why they're the guy that the Hall of Fame quarterback that they went and traded for is sitting on the sidelines is because their offensive line is fucking hammered dog shit.
Well, the 4 plays he played, 2 of the plays when he dropped back and passed, he was on the pressure. He had to roll out and try to get away from it.
Yeah.
So, to me, I agree with you. Their offensive line is dog shit, but if you're relying on Zach Wilson to win you games, That's a no-go for me. Total
I mean,
no-go.
yeah, you might as well rely on Stevie Wonder to win you games. I get it.
And I know we're playing.
Isn't it on the offensive coordinator too to come up with something?
No, dude. I'm just saying. Come up with something all you want. When your offensive line can't move the ball.
I get that. I'm talking about something with Zach. Use his legs.
Look what happened to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, right? The Chiefs' offensive line is what the Jets and a lot of these other teams are at that point, right? With the injuries they had, and the Bucks, right? Versus the Bucks. You can't come up with something just to win a game against a really good team, right? That as soon as Eric Fisher went down, we knew it was going to be a long Sunday, right? We knew it was going to be a long Sunday against the Bucks. You can't just scheme up something. Mahomes ran around over 500 yards in the backfield. Okay, you just can't. You just can't. It's not.
Well, it's the old
opportunity. One thing of making a miracle happen.
It's the old adage of they built this team outside on the outside and then in. But if you build a team on the inside and go out, right? Like, hey, we went out and got Garrett Wilson. We went out and got Sauce Gardner. We went out and got all these guys. But you know what you could have got? You could have got left fucking tackles. You could have got fucking, you know what I mean? Guard, like a solid offensive line instead. Like build most, that's where the game's been going on for over 50 plus years, and it's still the same. You win the game in the trenches, folks. Like if you have a good offensive line or a good defensive line, like that's just never going to change.
Look what the Chiefs did after that Buccaneers game, right? They went out, they got rid of Shorts, they got rid of Fisher, said, hey guys, thank you, but we're done. They drafted Creed, they stole Smith. Tooney come in,
got Orlando Brown for a couple years.
Yeah, Orlando Brown, you went out and acquired him. You figured out you drafted more linemen on top of that. Niang, unfortunately didn't work out, but you had Wiley somehow, some way step up and right tackle and look really good. Who I couldn't tell you. I would have never thought that would have happened with that. And now this year, you go out and you're like, hey, we're not veering away from this line, right? We went out and got Donovan Smith, a Super Bowl winner, played with Tom Brady, who knows the tough games. You went out and got Juwan Taylor and moved him to right tackle. Even though Taylor didn't want to, he wanted to be part of a winning organization. That's why he left the Jaguars. And so that's legit. They focused within the line to get guys.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Look at Detroit. I mean, when they could have drafted Jamar Chase, instead they drafted Penny Sewell. And like he has been the anchor for that offensive line, and has been Jared Goff has kind of had another resurgence here in Detroit and has played really well. Well, I don't know. He's got an offensive line that can protect him. One of the best, Sewell's one of the best tackles in the league. Like they could have went out and got the money guy in Jamar Chase like the Bengals did. And now the Bengals, they've went out and it should have been another interception. They went out and paid for all their offensive linemen, have been drafting guys left and right.
We got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, Dorian Thompson, is going to be starting. Deshaun Watson is out of today.
Oh, they're playing the Ravens?
What? Yeah.
Baby. Let's go.
Dorian Thompson Robinson, starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns today.
What's wrong with him? Is he stiff? Is Deshaun stiff or what?
He didn't get his weekly massage this week. In that, so yeah. So that's the breaking news so far this morning.
I was gonna pick the Ravens. What was the spread? What was the game on Thursday so I can change my pick if I need to?
I don't know. I ain't got pulled up.
Look it up. I know you got a spreadsheet, wise guy.
I know, but I ain't got pulled up. Hang on. Let me pull it up for you.
Listen, we don't talk about the Jaguars game now.
I think most of us picked the Browns.
Who cares about the Jaguars game? We're talking about Taylor Swift and the Chiefs right now.
Well, we're talking about Deshaun Massage Watson is real stiff and he's not playing tonight.
Dorian Thompson Robinson, Scott, is the starting quarterback.
Nope.
It's just announced.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yep.
How did
everybody had Browns -3. Everybody had
that's what I'm saying. I think everybody took the Browns.
We might want to switch everybody to the Ravens.
Never mind. Scott had Ravens.
Well, I want to switch to the Ravens.
I guess it hasn't started yet, so it's technical. So
you serious?
yeah,
We can
that's
switch?
insane.
Ravens don't have
Yes,
receivers outside of
Switch
Zach
it now,
Powers.
Johnny. Switch it now. Bail out. I'm bailing out.
Bail
Okay,
out.
all right. So I want to bail out. I want to take Jacksonville instead of Atlanta.
Sam's the only one that's going to stick with the Browns. That's his own fault for not being on the show.
started, Johnny.
I know. Are we really able to swap? Because I'm swapping.
Yeah.
If I can go to I'm jumping on the Ravens. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Just-
man.
Give me the Ravens.
I kind of still like the Browns on -3 because
You know what? I'm gonna stay with it. I'm gonna stay with it.
I do too.
You're staying
I'm
with it?
staying with the
Yeah, I'm
Browns.
gonna stay with it. I'm gonna stay with it.
Scott,
I'm
you're
going
that
to the
Brown-
Ravens.
That Browns D has been playing well, so I'll stay with it.
Nah. They got some guy I never fucking heard of at quarterback. I'll pass.
Did you see?
I know
No,
you
you don't
haven't.
watch preseason.
I
You
know
don't
you
watch
haven't.
preseason.
You don't watch preseason ball, so you don't know
You
who
don't
Dorian
watch
is.
preseason.
I don't even watch. First of all, hold on. I don't even watch the Packers preseason ball. And you want me to tune in on some fucking piece of shit Browns
Cleveland
game that I
Browns?
definitely don't fucking care about? No, I'm not going to
UCLA
watch the Browns fucking
the
preseason
former-
football game.
The former UCLA quarterback rookie is now the starting quarterback for the Browns.
Oh yeah, I'm
That help?
hopping on the Browns. Fucking no Chubb, no Watson, no.
DTR got
David Njoku got like 5th-degree burns on his body, and he's suiting up. Where's Deshaun at?
Hey, just let me tell you something. In DFS, this is a type of quarterback you can stick in your lineup and get studs every place on your roster.
Everywhere else.
Place.
Oh yeah.
And if he gets 15 points for your DFS team, you have Tyreek, you have Keenan Allen, you've got Justin Jefferson.
You made up
You got
for
guys
it, yeah.
that can fall out for you. I'm dead serious. There'll be people putting Dorian Thompson in their lineup today, and he'll ball out completely.
Well, I wouldn't say you ball out completely, Scott. Let's not fucking say that.
You never know if the Ravens can't handle his scrambling and running ability. It could be a long day for their defense. So,
God, they go up against Lamar Jackson every game in practice. I'm pretty sure they can handle it.
you never know once you get in a game situation. It's
Yeah,
at
what do you
Cleveland.
think, man? What do you think about this whole situation?
So you're asking me?
Yeah, what do you think about the Browns now with Dorian Thompson and all that?
I would love to see Dorian Thompson just shred the Ravens defense and actually have a legitimate shot at that starting quarterback position. We all know he won't because the Browns are paying him millions and millions of dollars. But DTR has legitimate talent. He was a super highly recruited quarterback coming out of high school. He was, I think he was either a 3 or 4 year starter at UCLA. And for the ones of us that care to watch preseason games, you saw him. You saw him in the preseason just absolutely, running through folks. Like
I saw Kenny Pickett too, Ken, and he looked like fucking Joe Montana in preseason. And look at him now. So preseason don't mean jack shit.
No, I get that. I'm just saying. I saw DTR be running over people. I see DTR running through. I think that DTR has something to prove, and I think that the Ravens defense is certainly not the Ravens defense of your older brother. And I think he's got a golden opportunity to show off that, hey, I'm here. I'm here. You're gonna deal with me, and I'm really, really interested to see what's gonna happen here.
No Jimmy G either. Jimmy G's out for the Raiders, by the way. Aiden O'Connell looked good in preseason, you guys, too. So let's back him up in the Raiders.
I hope O'Connell gets to start over Hoyer.
He is.
He is.
He's not no Hoyer.
Yeah.
Is it official?
Yeah, it's official.
I've heard it all over
It
the
was
place.
still questionable. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, either way, the Chargers are going to blow him out. So
yesterday they said Aiden O'Connell's starting, and he looked good in preseason too. I saw some clips of him and people talking about him on podcasts. Let's give Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders, folks, a chance.
Seriously, you want a fool's bet? Wait until about 30 minutes before kickoff. That Ravens-Browns line will go down to almost even now that Dorian Thompson is starting. That's when if you are on the Browns, that's when you take it. When it gets down to about 1 point or even, then you bet it. Because it's at 3 right now.
Nice.
It's going to go down.
Yeah, I'm
Derek Carr is starting today for the Saints. Derek Carr is starting today for the Saints.
Yeah, I heard that he was
out.
That makes the Saints that much more better to win that game today.
Wow. And supposedly, do you guys believe this rumor? Scott, you're the Patriots guy. But Ezekiel Elliott expected to get starter reps for against the Cowboys. That sounds the dumbest thing. That's like
What's
desperation.
going on with
Game, baby.
Stevenson? What's going on with Stevenson?
It's the dumbest thing, but if you know
Because
Bill
he's being
Belichick,
honored today by the Dallas or something like that. Like they're giving him a video tribute in Dallas, and so
Why
I'm like,
Bill
this sounds-
Belichick gives a
sounds-
shit about that? Like,
I'm
really?
about to say this doesn't sound like Bill Belichick. I'm not buying it.
if you know Bill Belichick, usually the games in hand. Remember Doug Flutie drop kicked that ball through the uprights. He loves NFL history. He loves sticking it to a player's former team. But that usually doesn't happen at the start. That usually happens in the game toward the end.
Yeah.
Where he'll give him a token touchdown or something. But yeah, this Belichick's reaching for straws right now to try to find something. Because Mac Jones has not been as good as people thought for them. So it's unbelievable that Zeke can get. It's all because of what he did against the Jets last week. Bill Belichick figured, I'm on to something. Now Zeke's running well. He's going to have a 10 carry, 20-yard game today. That's what's going to happen.
Here's the stat I just saw. McCaffrey's looking for his 13th straight touchdown as a 49er to break, and that would break Jerry Rice's record from 1987. So Jerry Rice is 36 years.
I was going to say, yeah.
He'll get it.
Cardinals, baby.
Before we get out of here, I want to ask you a question. What team in the AFC worries you the most going up against the Chiefs later? Like whether it be the play, I think you guys got a lock on your division. That your division's little, the Chargers are the Chargers and everybody else. But what team in the AFC worries you the most?
You got to look at Miami, man. That offense is undeniable. I mean, they put up 70 without even Jalen Waddle in the game, right? So you have three of the fastest human beings on the planet with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert. That offense has so much damn speed on it. And if Tua stays healthy, if that offensive line can keep Tua upright and Tua is healthy the entire year, that Miami team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. They already are. And if you run into them in the playoffs, because I know we got to face them in London, which whatever. But if we have to run into them in the AFC title game, that's going to be a track meet. And Tyreek Hill is going to be up for it, and he's the best receiver in the league outside of Justin Jefferson. And it's you just see how many weapons they have. And if they continue to be healthy and they continue to execute, how Mike McDaniel loves to just create just a bunch of crazy shit, for these guys to do. Mm-hmm. I think it's Miami. That's the team that I'm most worried about, for the defending of the AFC title.
Yeah,
I think so too. Right now, the crazy thing is that game's gonna be played in Europe, and Europe's used to like 2-1 soccer fucking games, and they're gonna get out there this fucking football field when it's Chiefs Dolphins and it's fucking 85-85, and they're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, no, they're gonna put on a show like Wembley never seen.
Yeah. That should be fun.
Is that game in London or is that game in Germany?
Germany. It's in Germany.
Germany, yeah. Sorry, Germany is what I meant. It don't matter. It's overseas, and that's where the Dolphin season ends. It's all right. It'll be over then.
No, if the Chiefs lose to the Dolphins, that's 2 losses, and then the Dolphins if they're still undefeated.
It won't be a surprise. It won't be a big deal.
All right.
It's gonna be all right.
Could lose home field playoff, home field advantage.
Oh, you mean Mahomes will get his first? No, he won't because the Dolphins will then lose, and then we'll have home field advantage. Then we'll complain that Mahomes still hasn't had a road playoff win when he doesn't have to have because they don't give him an opportunity. So, it don't matter. It don't matter. We'll still complain. Don't worry. Still complain.
Ken, where can everybody catch your stuff at?
Everyone catch my stuff at Arrowhead Addict. I write about 2-3 articles a week there. You can also find me on Twitter. You can find me on all kinds of places, man. Just come follow me and read my stuff. It's pretty good.
I agree.
Hey, we appreciate you joining us, Ian. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you later. I'll probably be able to shut the game off at halftime tonight. So
enjoy Taylor Swift.
Will do.
Yeah, enjoy T Swift. enjoy the T Swift Aaron Rodgers covers tonight. So, hey, we'll see you. Give it up for Ken, baby.
Thanks, kid. Appreciate it.
Guys, always a pleasure.
See you, dude. All right. All right. All right. Hey,
Is any of you guys watching the Toy Story broadcast game?
No, it looks awful when I turned it on.
No, we're
That's
on
what
air.
everybody
Why
said.
could we be watching the Toy Story game? We're on air.
We got a TV right here.
You do. You do, but I don't have ESPN Plus on my TV.
Oh,
I
I
can watch
got it.
that junk. It's like the Nickelodeon game that they show around Christmas time. Come on, really?
Yeah, but it's supposed to
Gonna
be like a
slime
live,
everybody?
like live at the same time thing, and it's
Yeah.
the
Aren't
camera
they
angles
supposed to be
are
like-
all
Oh, it is.
weird. It's
Are
bad,
they-
dude.
Oh, is it? Are they like turning them into like cartoon characters? It's like
Yeah,
Woody,
they're
Woody
like
out
Toy
there
Story.
throwing touchdowns to Buzz Lightyear
Yeah,
and
it's like-
stuff.
It's like Toy Story characters is what they're doing.
My.
And they're like going down they're running the same way as the field, and then they got the claw come down, grab the ball, and reset it to where it's at on the field. It's legit,
Oh.
like you're not like watching the game, but like it's Toy Story football, in there. It's not like Nickelodeon's thing where they had where they had the actual game on. This is live Toy Story figures playing the game, which I don't understand how they're doing it, because I assume this is probably hard as hell. And hopefully those creators are getting a shit ton of money for having to do that
Yeah.
crap. So,
Right.
Hey, Scott, I want to ask you the Bills Dolphins game is 53.5 on the over under. Which one we hammering here?
Over. The Buffalo Bills run defense is not as good as people think, number one. They played Washington last week. Can't deduce anything from that. And number two, Buffalo and Miami historically play high-scoring games. So, to me, 53. Remember the playoffs last year, 35-31. They've gone up to Buffalo and played 28-24 type of game. So, to me, it's the over, because Buffalo is just going to keep throwing the ball and making that secondary of Miami prove that they can stop it. That's what Buffalo does. You got to look at what each of these teams does. Even if Miami runs the ball, they still can get 10 to 15 yards on chunks. And Waddle is back now, and Tyreek's there. Buffalo was missing Jordan Poyer today. He's out for them.
Mm-hmm.
That hurts their secondary a lot. I expect Tua to keep his MVP.
Damar
candidate
Hamlin's
race
playing for
going.
the first time.
Yeah, but
he's
first
active.
time he hasn't played in over a year.
They got to justify to not
So-
cut him, because they can't. They just
Right,
can't do
right.
it. themselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
I'll cut him. I'll help him
So,
out.
so to me, what I think Miami does, and I don't know if Johnny agrees, but what I think Miami does is throw the ball to set up the run. They're going to throw a lot early in the game, be aggressive. Mike Daniels is going to be ultra aggressive in his play calling. They're going to try to get up on Buffalo by 2 touchdowns, and then they're going to run the ball. And Buffalo's going to try to play catch-up ball game. I don't know if Johnny agrees with that, but that's what I think Mike McDaniel's going to do today, is pass to run instead of run to pass.
Unfortunately, with Mike McDaniel, who the hell knows? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
The common thought is, we were able to run the ball all over them last year, and then he went away from it. So a lot of people have been talking about, if we stick to the run against Buffalo, we can beat them. So he may go the opposite way, like you said, and come out
Right,
passing in order to open up the run.
Right.
But yeah, with Mike McDaniel, you never know. But yes, if we do have success running the ball, I mean, we averaged over 5 yards a carry last year against Buffalo running the ball. So if you're having that kind of success, just run the damn ball, keep Josh Allen off the field. I think our defense is going to come together, but this is still Josh Allen. So the less time that he's on the field, the better. So if we run the ball successfully, I think they should keep running it. But as far as the game plan with Mike McDaniel, shit, nobody knows, bro. He's probably got some shit that he came up with just for Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Knowing him. So,
Johnny, do you feel like today's the best chance for Miami to win at Buffalo with this team that you felt in the past?
well, I mean, I felt good about them last year, to be completely honest. But yeah, I mean, this offense is is about as good as I've seen since Dan was playing, to be completely honest. These last 20 years before last season, I mean, it was a struggle to score points for the Dolphins.
Right.
So that's what made last season so much fun was all the offense that they were putting up. And they just look so much better. I mentioned it a lot on my show, on the Aqua and Orange show. Alex, with all this speed everywhere, say we can make plays. Ken mentioned we didn't even have Waddle last week, and they put up the 80. And I know it was Denver, but it's still. I mean, the offense is efficient. It's fast. Devon Achon, let's say his name right because he
coming after you if you don't.
So. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He finally
it's A-Chain to me, baby.
Yeah, he finally got to play. Savon Ahmed was out and he went off. So playoff those. We need to let Buffalo know. We for real. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't on your shit, we're gonna take this division. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope, like I said, they've allowed 1 sack all year so far. So props to the offensive line. They're playing well. And if they can keep that up, like I said, if we can keep Tua upright, we'll be at Arrowhead, for that AFC title game, like I've been saying. It might even be at South Beach, depending on what happens with the season. But I expect to be in Arrowhead for that AFC title game if Tua can stay healthy all year.
Hey, if you look at the past betting, so Nick, so the Dolphins have been over week 1 against the Chargers at 50.5, over last week, of course, with the 47, and under 46 against New England versus Buffalo, who's had 2 unders and an over. Their over being the Raiders in that. And then last year, both matchups went over 44 and 45. Granted, that January one was without Tua in that case as well. So if that helps you any, if you're trying to smash one where you want to be at, because it was 34-31 in January 15th and 32-29 in the December game. So if that helps you, Nick, on where you're smashing, hopefully so. We keep it clean, dude.
It's in DTR for the Browns on daily fantasy sites, DraftKings, $4,600.
46?
46.
I'm tempted.
So this is I watched CBS Sports DFS show.
Yeah.
If you want Tyreek, Keenan Allen, and Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase is the cheapest he's ever been, Dorian Thompson-Robinson would be a guy that you definitely want to stick in, and you can make that work. That's what I'm going to do. That is after the show's over. I'm going to stick one of those lineups with him in and see where it goes.
Nice.
I love the Browns today.
The Bills Dolphins game to me is very interesting. The most intriguing game. There's also a couple other intriguing games, especially in the early slate. We got the Bears Broncos in the shit bowl. Somebody's got to win. Can the Vikings Panthers? Somebody's got to win there. They're both 0-3. I mean, it's now or never for the Vikings, right? If they can't beat this lowly Panthers team, I thought the Panthers looked better with Andy Dalton last week than they did with Bryce, but I think it's back to Bryce, I believe, today. Vikings get their first one here. We kind of all agree this is where Minnesota finally gets it.
Yeah, I mean, I picked them on Thursday. So, I mean, like you said, if not now, then when are you going to get, you know what I'm saying? When are you going to get your win? You know what I'm saying?
Although if it's a close game, I'd be very nervous if I'm a Vikings fan. If it's close in the fourth quarter, I'd be really nervous that the Vikings could finish.
I don't know the exact stat, but it's like 7. I think it's like 7 times the Vikings have turned the ball over in their own red zone in 3 games. Or 7 lost fumbles or something like that, but they've lost the 4 or 5 different turnovers in their own red zone.
Kirk Cousins can't call plays on his own. It's rough.
Yeah.
He can't call plays on his own. He needs the head coach to be in his earpiece for him to call plays. Come on, Kirk.
How do you not even have the awareness to spike the damn ball, bro? I mean, it's not like he's a rookie, bro. He's been in the league forever, bro. Like, you stop the clock. You know what I'm saying? Gather yourself. You know what I'm saying? Come up with a good play. It seems like I don't know if it's just like I don't know. This Kirk Cousins thing, it almost feels like he ain't worried about winning. He's just worried about putting up stats and making his money and chilling in Minnesota. That's it.
It's probably ran its
on his own fantasy team. He has himself on his own fantasy team. He puts up great stats for fantasy and can't win games.
Right.
I mean,
So,
you put up a 30
yeah.
burger still for me last week, so
Yeah.
That's wild.
Another game that's interesting. I mean, we just announced that Derek Carr started. To me, it's that Bucs Saints game. I mean, the Bucs didn't look good last week, but their 2-1 looked pretty good in 2 weeks. That this is a game two teams, a division game that winner kind of takes first place here in this division early on, and has got the tiebreaker. We know that Lattimore has been able to shut down Mike Evans. You look up at those stats. I don't know what Mike Evans' receiving yards is today, but I'd probably hit the under. Depending on what it is, because Lattimore has shut him down. It'll be interesting, Baker, with Baker and then Derek Carr back to the Saints that look, halfway decent at times. That gives, Saints are favored in 4, but this is an NFC South, kind of maybe a title game here early on.
Mike Evans hates Marshawn Lattimore. And the feeling's mutual.
Like actual hate, bro.
he's going to
There's
get exposed.
Yep. Mike Evans, if you have another choice and you have a fantasy team, you might want to look at that. That's pretty decent. Because I have a feeling Mike Evans is going to catch like 2 or 3 balls for 35 yards today. And that's about it.
Yeah. I mean that's honestly why I picked the Saints even when it was going to be Jameis Winston. So I feel a lot better now that it's Carr.
Yeah.
In our guest, let me read this ad read, and then we'll bring in our Mr. Fantasy
break it up bad, Nick.
So,
Hey, Nick, your
hold on.
internet connection's
Am I
taking a break. You might restart.
Yeah, I thought it was me, but
No, it's not you.
It's
Nick.
okay.
Let's see here. Let's get this ad read out of the way. Oops, wrong one.
There you go. Leave that up, baby. There you go. Oh,
Ain't trying to advertise for you.
special edition of the Scott Cobe Show coming.
All right, well, I'll go ahead with it. It's sports creators.
You got
Sports
it?
betting
Okay.
has rapidly risen in popularity, and I want to connect you all with an opportunity to get started or to get ahead. Having multiple sportsbook accounts is the most simple way to maximize your profits, and there has never been a better time to sign up. When you visit our page, signupexpert.com/let's talk, you'll be connected to all the sportsbooks in your region, along with a review of each platform and its unique benefits. All of these sportsbooks have valuable sign-up offers for new users, and when you register through our link, you will automatically receive the top offer at each one. When you use multiple sportsbooks, you ensure that you can always access the best available odds, which is key to successful sports betting. If you want to take advantage of these benefits and support our brand, please consider signing up for your next sportsbook at signupexpert.com/let's talk. Nick
Love
is he frozen?
Love it.
Nick's frozen.
Let's bring in our guest while the host is frozen. While he can get some words in before.
I was about to say
Nick
Ryan will
comes
actually
on.
be able to speak now.
The guy who runs fantasy football on Thursday evenings, guys.
Mhm.
The guy who works tirelessly in the fantasy football world. 900 leagues for him, maybe 1,000 by now. We'll have to see. Currently, what is he, like second to last place in the Let's Talk Sports League at Triple FTP. Check out his YouTube as well. Rotoballer, Ryan Larson. Ryan, what's up, dude?
What's going on, bro?
Do you know,
You
Tanner, do you know
didn't,
why he's in second to last place? Do you know why Ryan's in second? Because I'm in last place. So I'm 0-3. That's why he's not in last. I'm 0-3.
So you just had to lead with my worst fantasy team.
Wait.
record, didn't you?
I'm sorry. No, Mr. Larson is in last place. Scott is second to last place. So I had to just switched around. My bad.
Oh, okay.
My bad, guys.
I'm out of the big.
yeah,
False facts.
I'm out
My
of the
bad.
that's what happens when you bet
I don't
on
feel so bad now.
Cup and Josh. You take Josh Jacobs and Cooper Cups in the first 2 rounds. That's what happens when. That's what happens.
A little rough, right? A little rough.
Well, Ryan, that'd be my first question. What is going on with Josh Jacobs? Is it the training camp he missed, or is it that their offensive line is just leaky and shaky?
This team is just not the same as it was last year. I mean, we've got to understand that Jimmy Garoppolo was a winner solely because he was in San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Jimmy Garoppolo is not a quarterback that you can sit there and just, I don't know. It's tough to explain, but the only thing that
He
I can
stinks,
say
like
is,
Nick would say.
Stinks.
well, he does stink. The only thing that I can
mean,
say is Josh Jacobs, he started the season last year actually worse than he did this year through the first 3 weeks for fantasy. So there is hope. He's got great matchups coming up, but I can't sit here. I put him on my favorites list last week, and that bit me in the ass very hard. So I'm not gonna sit here and suggest him anymore. Not until he shows it.
No, that's fair. On that
Well, I know
one.
Ryan's tired of him because he tried to trade him. He's trying to trade him. I know he's tired of him.
I did try to trade him. Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work out in my favor yet. We'll see if he pops off this week. Then he might go back on the block.
I mean, Garoppolo just isn't good enough of a quarterback where the defense has to worry about him as opposed to just stacking up the box to stop Jacobs. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, it's the Raiders being the Raiders. So, I don't expect any different.
We could see a big game from him today. They got the rookie starting. No one's got tape on him. This could be interesting.
Nick set this up. The reason why he got frozen is so he could put his belt on his shoulder when he came back in. That's exactly why. We know why he did it.
That's it. That's exactly it. I cut the internet off just so I said, hey, hold on a second. The true LTS champion of fantasy is in the building, folks.
Dude, doesn't your team also suck this year? What do we do?
I'm 2-1. It does suck, but here, listen. I've had some problems. Okay, listen. My first round draft pick, Nick Chubb, blown knee, fucking done for the year. Aaron Jones, hammy, done, damn near done for. He has only played one game, and then that was my third round pick, Garrett Wilson. I don't know. He's tied to Zach fucking Wilson, so I pretty much just lubed myself up and fucked myself with those first 3 picks. So you're not going to win. You're not going to be very good.
I mean, dude, cry me a river. You were talking to the dude whose half his team is hurt. Like, shut up. Get out of here.
Well, I feel like I've made some good moves this week. We had a nice trade. I like that trade. See DJ Moore and his shitty ass QB for Achane, and I got the bag of balls that is Bryce Hall.
It's Achan, not Achane. Get it right.
Yeah, whatever his name is. Yeah. Well, if he leads me to another championship in both my leagues, because I have 2 of them in 2 leagues now, I'll say his fucking name right. Until then, it's Achane. Okay.
Hot
Doesn't even have
figure it out.
right out of the 2 ways we used to pronounce it.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Oh man. Hey, I wanted to ask you here for an interesting deal, just decision making for some people. Anthony Richardson's expected to play today. Should be in the starting reps. Do you trust it?
Yeah, I think I have him as my QB6 this week. He's just been great when he's been on the field. Before he went out in week 2, he had like 17 fantasy points or something crazy like that. So you just got to roll with it. You're gonna have problems with the rookie no matter who it is, but he's got too high upside to bench.
It's my fault to get hurt. I had him starting in the LTS league over Kirk Cousins, so it's my fault totally. He was going for 50 that game.
That sounds about right.
It's my fault. Late breaking news this morning. Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting for the Browns. Good DFS quarterback to take a shot at and build your lineup elsewhere.
Yeah, DFS. These late, additions to the starting lineups are always really cheap in DFS, so you can go ahead and take a shot at them. Matchup not great, but Baltimore is pretty much the entire team is walking on one leg at this point. So you've got a good chance to have a decent game. We saw how good he was in the preseason. He's got a chance to be the best backup quarterback in the NFL right now. So he's got the weapons. Give him a shot in DFS. He's super cheap. You can make a stacked wide receiver core, stacked running back core with him as your quarterback. Why not?
Yeah. I guess
I mean, the Ravens. Go ahead, Tanner.
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the Ravens' injury list is longer than a CVS receipt. So, I mean, that's he might have a favorable matchup. A guy I never fucking heard of because I don't watch preseason. But nonetheless, let's just say I'm not buying in on the Browns yet. Not without Deshaun. Deshaun had his best game last week, and it's unfortunately he got too stiff after having his best game.
Sounds to me like he needs a good masseuse.
Or 30 of them. Hey, Ryan, what's going on with Dallas Goedert, bro? Is he like non-existent? Do I need to just go ahead and drop him?
I mean, you don't drop him. You don't drop a guy who's getting that many targets. It's just for some reason he has broke nothing. It's interesting. Like he's getting open. As soon as he catches the ball, he is swarmed by 7 defenders, and I'm not sure if it's a change in the play calling that's giving him issues because of the change from OCs compared to last year, or if he's just a step slower. He is 28 going on 29 right now. So maybe that's part of the issue. He's had tons of injuries over his career. Maybe they're catching up. But this offense runs through A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith in the passing game. Smith Smith was having a hard time last year before the Dallas Goedert injury getting targets. Once Goedert went out, he proved that he needed that target share to produce, and they haven't gone away from it since. So I don't see a change happening. He's a back-end tight end 1, and he's going to do what all these other tight ends do. He'll give you a goose some weeks, and some weeks he'll give you 6 points, and you're just going to have to live with that.
Ryan, is there any tight end that's worth picking up? Because I'm in tight end purgatory hell right now, starting Hayden Hurst. So most of everybody, especially my big money league, are carrying 2 tight ends. So I'm pretty much just, been butt fucked here too in the tight end position. So is there anybody that can help a brother out?
Yeah, dude. Welcome to everyone else's problem, unless you got Travis Kelce, because dude, it is rough. Like
it is. I mean, Hawkinson's not.
It's
bad.
so tough to suggest, guys, because
Laporte and Hawk, baby, they've been cruising.
Those Iowa Church dogs, baby.
That's why I had Hawkinson as my. There's a reason Hawkinson was my number 2 tight end of the year, guys. Everyone's like, "Oh no, it's Mark Andrews." This offense is on pace to throw 786 times.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's not going to matter much.
The Cousins Hawk combo I have is phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been. I guarantee you, it's been crushing it. It's like anybody that's got Kirk and Justin Jefferson stacks. Like it's almost just as good because he just gets that many targets. But yeah, dude, the big thing is you've almost got to treat tight end if you don't have an elite guy, just like you treat defenses. You stream off the waiver wire every week, and you hope that you got to play against the really bad defenses, and it's just the way that it is. You've got Hurst this week. Hurst is great. Seattle is terrible against the tight end. This game could be,
they're playing Minnesota.
Carolina.
They're not playing Seattle.
They're playing Minnesota.
Yeah,
Minnesota's just bad in general.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Darren Waller because I have him as one of the people to talk about later. But there's guys that are on the waiver wire that are readily available. Tyler Higbee's there. Zach Ertz is there. Jake Ferguson's there.
No, those guys aren't available in this league. That's the problem, Ryan.
Kate Otten of Tampa Bay, he's the starting tight end. He might get some looks from Baker. That's another guy you can look at.
Yeah. I suggested him
Donald
last week.
Parham is a guy that
unfortunately. So.
Yeah. It's just, Nick, it's basically close your eyes at the tight end position and throw a dart and hope they score a touchdown. It's basically what it is right now.
It's either that or you find a way to make a trade for an elite guy, and you're going to have to give it up because the Kelce's, Hawkinsons, they are going to cost you a lot right now because there's no one that's even coming close to those guys.
Right.
No.
Should I maybe make a trade? Let me make a trade for, let's just say, Pat Fairmouth or Ferguson, or maybe even a what's the Bears tight end?
Cole Kmet.
Yeah. You can leave Kmet. Yeah. You could make a trade for Freiermuth if you got the chance. At least you're getting guaranteed targets. There's 2 things you got to do when it comes to tight end. You got to look for guys that are getting consistent targets. 4 or more a week is preferred, and then you got to try and play matchups because you can't just roll.
The problem is,
people tried Durham Smythe last week and it didn't work.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't really want to give up somebody from Fairmouth. Like, I'm going to give you my bench guys, Ryan, and tell me if you would trade any of these guys for Fairmouth. Okay, so right now I have Eckler. He's on the bench, so obviously I'm not going to be trading him anytime soon because that was my first overall pick. But like somebody like Jerry Jeudy, probably not trading him for Fairmouth, right? Cam Akers, I doubt the guy even wants to do that trade. You know what I mean?
No.
Kadarius Toney, Jahan Dotson.
Dotson's an interesting one. You might, if you want to package Akers and Dotson together,
either of those guys.
Just to see if you can get it. Yeah. Akers and Dotson, or try putting Akers for Frymuth and then send a second offer of Dotson for Frymuth. And if he rejects that, then maybe you want to patch them together to get Frymuth. That might be the other thing you want to do. So,
yeah, I have Pickens on my team as well, so I don't know how much I want to tie my team to Pittsburgh offense. That's the problem too.
Right, Ryan. Let me ask you, two guys, sell highs: Raheem Mostert, Adam Thielen. What do you think about those guys? Would you try to sell them?
Yeah,
now?
sell the crap out of both of them. I'll put it to you this way: I saw a trade go down in one of my leagues where the guy was targeting Tony Pollard. He got Tony Pollard for Mostert plus a couple of wide receiver twos because the guy was desperate for wide receiver help, and he was able to secure Pollard. And next to CMC, Pollard is the number 2 overall, big time, like rest of season. There's no doubt about it. Mostert's not going to hold up this way. If you go look at the week 3 leaders at all the positions last year, Carson Wentz was the QB3. We had, I think it was CEH was the RB2 because of all the touchdowns that he scored. Like, this shit's going to change. It's going to change over the next 3 weeks, and we're going to forget about guys like, Mostert by the time we get to week 6, 7. So sell high on these guys that aren't going to last. Thielen is interesting because I think he's going to continue to get a lot of targets, but we've probably seen his best game already of the season.
Unless Andy Dalton comes back.
I think
if Andy comes back, I think you could be better off. But it just seems with Bryce.
I think Thielen's going to ball out today because they play the Vikings. And then I think you probably could sell him for a high RB2 and get yourself one of those. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And if you're getting Thielen offers right now, bite the bullet and do it if it makes sense, because you don't want Thielen to go out there in a plus matchup and do nothing, and then his value just down the drain.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you gotta don't want that. Strike while the iron's hot with a lot of these guys.
Ryan, who's a guy, like, I know it's still early on the season, like you just said, last year at this time Carson Wentz was like QB3, but we're almost at a quarter of the season. We're in week 4, so next week we're pretty much at the quarters. Give me a guy that you were very high on that's shit the bed, and a guy that you were low on that is outperforming your standards.
Ooh.
A guy that is like that shit the bed and is gonna come back and be good, basically. Is that what you're saying?
No, just somebody who shit the bed that you were like, hey, this guy, everybody draft this guy, and now everybody's like, God damn it, I shouldn't have listened to Ryan Larison, that fucking idiot. It's fucking.
Can I just ask, Ryan, that you were high on that you think is not going to perform to the level that you thought for the rest of the season?
Well, the guy,
I mean, Garrett Wilson's got to be
the guy
that guy, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much Garrett Wilson because he's not going to reach his potential at any point. So that's not going to work. I have children knocking on the door. Can you guys hear that? Isn't that hilarious? Knock it off.
Feed him for breakfast time.
Damn it, Matt. Get away from
It's
that.
time to set their fantasy lineups too.
Yeah, right.
Tell Matt we did not ask him to come on the show to go away.
Right? I warn him before the show every time. It never happens when I'm doing my own stuff and I'm doing stuff for somebody else. They're always right there. But the guy that I probably told everybody to draft that sucked, there's 2. It's Dotson. I told everybody to draft Dotson, and he's been absolutely horrible. And I told everybody to draft Justin Fields, and he's been terrible. I mean, he was my QB5. I've got him everywhere, guys. I'm suffering with you. I'm playing him in almost every league still this week, hoping that he does something. But man, dude, it has been rough. So those are probably my biggest swings and misses this year so far by quite a wide margin.
I feel
As
you
for
as well on the
hits, like-
Dotson. I told everybody to pick Johan Dotson too. Like, hey, this guy is gonna be the guy. It's gonna be the guy. And yeah, that was a big miss for sure.
Massive miss. I'm trying to think of some guys that I know have done really well that I suggested, because I mean, I haven't really I'm not trying to say this to sound like I know everything, but I haven't really missed on a ton of people, but I also haven't had these big blow up dudes yet that have just gone off from the people that I told you to draft during the preseason process. I mean, I told everybody to draft Jordan Love in 2 QB leagues, and he has been fantastic for the most part. He's had a bad game here or there, but QB4 before this week started overall. He's been absolutely crushing it. I got him in a ton of dynasty leagues as my QB2, and I've been starting him over guys I never thought I would start him over, and he's done well. So not too bad there. And then I'll consider Hawkinson, because I got a lot of flack from everybody for ranking Hawkinson so high, and he has been everything that I've expected him to be, and even more than that. And I think everybody at this point would say he's clearly the number 2 tight end for fantasy over guys like Mark Andrews and the rest of the list that people were trying to suggest during the offseason.
Can I ask you one more thing? The Detroit backfield. I'm a Montgomery truther. I have him almost everywhere that I could draft. Do you see this backfield playing out like it did last year, or do you see Jahmyr Gibbs get more and more run as it goes on?
I think people always compare it to the Jamal Williams Swift situation, but the difference between Swift and Gibbs is healthy. So as the season goes along, I think he's going to gradually see a few more carries here, a couple more targets there. This offense hasn't even hit its full potential. Jameson Williams still isn't in this offense yet. It's still got room to grow. Like, there's going to be times where Gibbs starts to work his way in more. But the bottom line is they paid Montgomery during a time where running backs just ain't getting paid. He's going to get the run. He's going to get the usage. So he is 1A and Gibbs is 1B, and that's what fantasy managers need to understand. Like, there's so many panicked people on Gibbs, and I think he's not going to reach that top 12 ceiling that people wanted him to hit, but he wasn't drafted as a top 12 back. He was drafted as an RB2,
No, he wasn't.
And he can finish as a top 24 running back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Hey, what's your top 3 starts, top 3 benches?
So I will go with for quarterback. I like to try and suggest people to like streaming options that are readily available, because if I just give you a guy that somebody's drafted from day one, that's not going to help you.
We know.
I
Patrick
love Brock
Mahomes
Purdy this week.
right?
I don't care that.
Yeah.
Well, I would say Christian McCaffrey.
Right. I'm not going to tell you to
I'd go
play
McCaffrey.
Purdy McCaffrey.
I'll go say Justin Jefferson this week.
Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. Maybe even just throwing a McCaffrey in.
Play Kelsey.
Yeah, start all 3 of
Kelsey.
those guys.
Make sure that you play Kelsey.
Yeah.
I love Brock Purdy this week. If you are having troubles at quarterback, Deshaun Watson's out now. So that's someone else's starter in a league that's not going to be able to play this week. He is available everywhere. Plays I understand that he doesn't have Debo, but for Purdy to succeed, he only needs 2 of his top 3 weapons. And you know what? We can consider CMC, especially in the passing game, too. So he's got 4 big weapons. He's only missing 1. Ayuk is back full strength, fully practicing. George Kittle is there. He always goes off when one of the 2 are missing. Yeah, I mean, who cares about Mitchell at this point?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's I really think that's I think that Purdy is going to finish as either in that 13 to 15 range as a top tier streamer, or he'll find his way into the top 12 if he throws a couple of touchdowns, which I think he has a really good shot to do. Number 2, James Cook. Like, he is a lot of people's RB2 this week, and James Cook faces Miami. He's I think RB14 on the season. He's averaging over 100 total yards a game. This game is going to be an absolute shootout. I'm hoping every single time we expect these games to be like high scoring affairs, for some reason it's like 20-15 by the end of it. It drives me crazy. This one should hit that. Both the defenses are good, not great. So we should be able to find a way to get that 50 total points by the end of it. And James Cook's been great. You got to keep rolling him out there. The matchup is fantastic. And then I'll give people that have Darren Waller confidence start him against Seattle. That's about the best matchup that you're going to get. What you're going to go through with Darren Waller is when you are playing against defenses that have good pass rushes, that's when you're going to have problems with Darren Waller. Seattle's got no pass rush. So Daniel Jones should be able to pepper Waller with 7, 8, 9 targets, and then we're good to go. So those are my big 3 starters. To bench, if you got Prescott, don't put him out there. He has yet to finish inside the top 15 at quarterback. He's been terrible for fantasy so far. Now he gets to go up against New England and Bill Belichick. Want nothing to do with most of the players in this game unless it's Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, and that's about it. But I'm not expecting massive games from those guys either. And this isn't the week that he's going to hit the top 15. He's going to continue to fall out of it. Better days are probably ahead, but not this week for him. I am benching David Njoku if you have him. I said this before he got the face burn injury and he walked into the stadium looking like Bane with no shirt
the
on,
mask and everything.
Mask.
It's awesome.
Dude, intimidating as hell. He is not going to have a good game against Baltimore. They are pretty much the best defense against the tight end. I don't care about the injuries. They find a way to stop him. So keep him on the bench. And then everybody wants to start, their Chargers wide receiver pickup of the week with Mike Williams out. Leave Quentin Johnson on the bench. Rookie has not hit 30% of snaps through 3 games. He's got a drop problem. He is not a one-to-one comparison from Mike Williams. That's what everybody wants to say that he is, but he's not there yet in his career. I don't want him in the first game back. The matchup is great, but it's, to me, a trap. So those are the 3 guys that I would keep out of your lineups if you can find alternatives, which those names you probably should be able to find alternatives.
Right.
Yeah,
Let me give you a question here.
today.
Miles Sanders or Brian Robinson?
Miles Sanders. Brian Robinson's matchup is horrible this week. I don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
Ryan, what do you do if you're a Jonathan Taylor owner?
I'll fill your lineups, guys.
I just acquired Jonathan Taylor via waiver wire. Nonetheless, a guy got impatient on him and dropped him, and I was able to pick him up. What do I do? I mean, you just got to hold on to him and just pray that eventually he plays.
Yeah, the 21-day practice window is going to open up for him this week, and they are going to practice him. And they also said that the trade talks and the hostility between them has died down at this point, which we all kind of figured was going to happen with him anyways. So the problem is Zach Moss has looked great. Do they just take the ball out of his hands and give it to a disgruntled JT? I don't know. But
I hope so. 30 times a game, baby. Let's go.
I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. New regime,
run him
new
to the ground, Jim. Run him to the ground is what they should do.
Here's the problem.
We'll see.
And I agree with Ryan, but here's the problem. If he gets tackled, he could very easily come up and say, "Oh, my back, I can't," or "Oh, my knee, I can't," and then he'll down the game.
That's just hurting his bottom line money. That's hurting his bottom line money. If he wants to make money at the end of the year, he's got to have a bounce back year. That's the thing. And then people are like, "Why the hell would we pay you money?" Zach Moss looked better in this offense than you did.
He still doesn't want to play for the Colts. The Colts are trying to trade him behind the scenes. Okay. I'm so unsure of what's going to happen with this situation. I would almost, if he's on your bench, keep him on your bench. But I don't know if I'd play him. I'd wait a week or 2 before you play him. Really.
I'll probably wait 1 week. Maybe I'll put him out there. I don't know. Just see what happens. Kind of read the leaves here.
The big thing is people that have him now have figured it out for a month. So they should have the luxury of waiting on him during that first game back. But times are tough, man. RBs this year are friggin' terrible. It's just not working out for pretty much 95% of them. So I just traded away Ramondre. in a league because I wanted to. I was done. I was done with the 15 touches to Zeke Elliott per game, basically. And now today, Zeke is going to be getting more starting reps, is what I was seeing online. So
he is
crazy, bro.
I can confirm that he is getting
every team is going to running back system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connor Williams ain't playing.
Yeah.
So what?
That's big,
here's
yo.
what I understand with the Zeke situation. If Zeke had not had a good game against the Jets last week, I think Zeke would not have gotten as much run. Because he had a good game against the Jets, the coaching staff feels like that Zeke is starting to pick up the system and starting to run with authority and run well. So I think you're going to see Ramondre in most passing roles today, most third downs he's going to be in on. And I think he's going to mix in with Zeke on first and seconds, but it's not a Ramondre backfield unlock. So if you can get Zeke, if you're a Ramondre owner, want to hold him, try to get Zeke as best as you can because it's going to become a 60-40 situation down the stretch here, which is not good. Not good.
It will be. Yeah, you're
Not
right.
good for fantasy at all.
No.
Yeah, that's a big loss right there. Not for nothing. Connor Williams not playing the center. So
Eddie Jackson.
all the people all over the Dolphins.
Give me Judy time. Judy time.
So
Everybody.
did you guys talk about the Bears situation with Claypool? Claypool's a healthy scratch today.
Yeah, I
Wait, no,
mean,
he's
Scott,
inactive.
nobody
Yeah,
gives a shit
inactive.
about Chase Claypool. We haven't cared about Chase Claypool since his rookie year when he was with the Steelers. The Bears are awful. They're an abysmal franchise. Chase Claypool deserves the Bears, and they deserve him because all he wants to do is make TikToks and shit. And
Agreed,
but
but I'm telling
Wow.
you, if you have Justin Fields today, he's going to reward you today. I think he's going to have a good game today. He's going to get up in the 20s point wise
I don't know, man. I don't know.
against the Broncos.
I don't know, Scott.
Against that Broncos defense, who has had a week to prepare for a running quarterback, and
There's a big difference between a Dolphins offense with the high profile players and DJ Moore, right? There's a big difference there.
yeah,
Big gap.
that's why I think he's going to run a lot today. I think Justin Fields is going to run 10 times today.
It's gonna get him in
A
trouble
touchdown or
real
two.
quick.
Give me
That is
the bounce back, please. Jesus. For God's sake, give me the bounce back. Justin Fields today. I need
Like,
to go
give me
back.
anything, man.
I need to
Just give me
go back.
anything over 10 points.
Anything.
shit. That's wild.
Oh
Oh,
god,
goodness
I love it.
gracious.
I love it. I love it. Hey, I want your thoughts real quick on this move here. So I don't trust Zach Wilson against the Chiefs defense, who's been dominant, right? So I told these guys already, but I'm benching G Wilson. G Wilson, Lord of mercy, I can't believe I'm doing this, but G Wilson for Tank Dell this week.
100%. I've got Dell 20 spots higher in my rankings. That's not a joke.
Got the
I have
approval,
Garrett
baby.
Wilson at 42. 42, I have Garrett Wilson this week. He made my
It's
fave
like-
list. I want nothing to do
yeah.
with it.
It's a why not list, right? It's legit. Why not throw him out there? We know what we're getting with Zach Wilson and G Wilson combo, especially against the Chiefs defense, and McDuffie's gonna be all over him. That's the one receiver to eliminate on that offense. You go to Tank Dell, who's had a 20 burger and a 30 burger the last 2 weeks, and he's getting I think it was 12 targets, 10 targets, something stupid for that offense in Houston. And they're going against a bad Steelers team. I don't care what you say about that defense. It's a bad Steelers team. And so you should have plenty of opportunity for Tank Dell to break it open.
Yeah. And the Steelers are 30th, I think, 30th to 31st
Something in
against
that
wide
range,
receivers
yeah.
for fantasy this year so far. Just haven't been able to defend them. And at some point, it doesn't become point chasing when it comes to someone like Tank Dell. Once you get those big, massive double-digit points 2 weeks in a row, you just got to throw him in there. He might not have that type of game again, but he's obviously involved.
Why not?
He's heavily involved and going to continue to be that way moving forward. Why not?
There-
Is
there's
exactly
even-
it. We got to get shirts to say why
There
not.
is even there is even talk tonight that if Zach Wilson is stinking it up at halftime, he's going to get pulled for Trevor Simeon.
God,
There's even
I
that
can't
talk
wait.
tonight.
Simeon's
Simeon's
not
going to
active,
flashback when he was with the Broncos facing the Chiefs. He's gonna be like, "Oh no, I forgot where I was."
Jets are going to get shut out tonight. I think the Chiefs
Yeah,
are getting shut out tonight.
Yeah.
Simeon's not supposed to be active tonight. That's what everything was saying this week. But I don't care who the backup is. Freaking throw him in over Zach Wilson because this dude.
Yeah.
There's got to. We would probably. There's only one dude that I've seen play quarterback as a starter that I think has looked worse in the past 5-6 years, and that's Nate Peterman. And I think I'd rather have Nate Peterman than Zach Wilson at this point.
Brock Osweiler is right up there too. That's the name I thought I was thinking.
Oh gosh, can't believe you brought that up.
Osweiler could throw a damn touchdown, man. And Peterman and Wilson are horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it when we did the pick'ems. I don't think they score unless the defense puts them in position to get a field goal. You know what I mean? Because of a turnover or some shit like that. I don't see him doing anything on the offensive side of the ball.
Sky Moore fumble.
He's
something
horrible,
in that range.
He's not an NFL quarterback, bro. He's just not.
DraftKings has a thing on NFL tonight, lowest scoring team, and I bet the Jets. I bet the Jets. I don't think Jets are scoring tonight. I agree with you, Johnny. I don't think they're scoring tonight. I think you're gonna get shut out.
They're awful.
What they need to do is literally run the ball 75 times and just give it to Breece Hall and hope that
their offensive line is
because it's the only way that they're scoring.
But they can't though, Ryan, because their offensive line is atrocious. It's hammered dog shit. Their offensive line is awful. It's probably the worst offensive line of football.
It's all they can do. He's broken them before with that same terrible piece of shit O line. Just run them 75 times. It's the only way
I hope they do
because
I got him. I do. I hope you're right, and and I have Hall in fantasy, so I hope he does bust it out.
I will say this for anybody that's like everybody else panicking on the Jets players, they're about as low in terms of price as they are going to get right now. Go buy Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall because the Zach Wilson benching is going to come, and if it's Trevor Siemian, okay.
I traded Christian Watson for Breece Hall. Thanks, Alan.
Yeah, do it. If you had that depth, you got to do something to try and add dynamic players. When you've got the guy who was the offensive rookie of the year last year with Zach Wilson playing a bunch of games and Breece Hall, who was on his way to be the offensive rookie of the year before his injury, who's only going to get better as time goes on further away from the injury, go do it. I sold Ramondre for Breece Hall and Zay Flowers this past week.
Yeah. That's a good trade.
That was the perfect move for me to do.
Nice.
That's how I looked at it as I went and got Romeo Doubs off of the waivers, so that helped me replace Watson's. Doubs looks like a guy you could play almost every game right now. Let me trade Watson, and I'll take him Breece in the panic mode after Nick Chubb went down due to injuries, so I needed some running back.
Plus
Breece
Hall was not a pick
use
for
them this week very well, but you'll use them later. Sorry, Scott.
Breece Hall was not a draft pick for the beginning of the season. He was a draft pick for week 7 and beyond. Because he had the ACL. It's going to take him a while to get back. That's when you're going to expect Breece Hall to be good. So getting him now, you're jumping the gun 2 weeks, which is fine, which is completely fine. So,
yep, 100%.
Ryan, go ahead and get all those plugs before we get you out of here.
Anybody got any more questions? Yeah, I'll
want
I'll
to know
plugs because no, I just want to thank everybody that's gone to the YouTube channel and subscribed and liked over the past month that I've done it, because I just hit 1,000 views today in a month. So pretty excited about that. I didn't think I was going to hit that mark for quite a while.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think it has a lot to do with the shorts as well, but that's fine. That's a big part of YouTube now. So go follow over there, Fantasy Football for the People's YouTube channel. Every Saturday, I've got the favorites and fades list, and then every Thursday, just like it is here on LTS, I stream over there as well. The weekly Q&A show that I do with Matt. I'm hoping to add more stuff over time, but I think that's the way the schedule is going to stay for this season, and then I'll try and incorporate more stuff as time goes on. Follow me on Twitter at FTP. You can ask me any questions in the DMs that you got. My TikTok started up as well over the past month. I'm doing the same thing over there for favorites and fades every Friday, Saturday. So you can go follow me at Triple FTP over there. And let's see. Yeah, go to Rotoballer and Yards Per Fantasy and check out my articles over there. I'm going to have a new Yards Per Fantasy article this week, hopefully out by Tuesday, on players that you need to acquire at all positions with easy upcoming schedules to try and help people that are trying to dig their way out of a 2-2, 1-3 start.
Or 0-3 start like yourself. It happens.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I've always said I am so much better at giving advice than taking my own. So that's how I roll.
You have in the 3 years I've known you. That's what it's been.
True that.
That's what it's been, man. I'm also just in too many leagues. I gotta cut that shit down. Thanks for having me, gentlemen. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan, man.
Hey, thanks for coming
Enjoy your
on.
day, bro.
Thank you. You
Yes,
too,
sir.
guys.
Bye, Ryan.
You guys,
Has anybody done a wellness check on Jonathan Grisham after last night's LSU game?
yeah, he posted. He posted something on Facebook or Twitter or something, and said that he was happy somehow. He's an Arsenal fan all of a sudden, which is weird. But his Braves were good, but his Tigers let him down. So he's out there still talking shit. So.
And if the Buccaneers beat the Saints today, he's going to be roasted on the show tomorrow night. Very bad.
It's possible. I can't really say too much. His Braves swept my Cubs and kicked us out of the playoffs. So, I mean,
no.
But,
Help kick you out of the playoffs. The Brewers just, took that shotgun and finished pulling the trigger.
So we won last night, you know what I mean? So we just
helped,
really the Cubs beat them fucking selves. Shea Ohtani has a fucking catch and it just drops it right in front of him. We had leads in every one of them games against the Braves and the Brewers, and we freaking blew it. So that is the Cubs season in a nutshell, though. Like, hey, last night we were up 6-0. The Brewers come back in 6. I was like, we're probably going to lose this game because, that's just the Cubs season. But we ended up winning last night, and the Marlins won, so we're out the playoffs. But I know we're a football show, but I do say that this was a successful Cubs season. I'll count as a success.
From
we're over
what
500.
you thought it would be
to
where you were.
To where you are now. It's absolutely.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, today, guys, we might see history. The Royals might set the record for their shittiest season ever with the most losses.
That's hard.
And I think that's record breaking. That's worthy because we've been shitty for so long, right? Since before our 2 titles. So, or one title.
I don't know. They're playing the Yankees, so they'll probably win today.
Hey, I always said let's finish it out with the big wins against the Yankees and let's call it good. Let's call it season.
Let's get to our final thoughts, and then we'll get out of here so we can set the fantasy lineups and watch. Well, this game's pretty much over. Jags up 20-7, but get ready to watch some more football. Johnny, we'll start with you.
Yeah, excited for a good day of football. That's a bad sign. Connor Williams, the starting center for Miami, not playing against this game in Buffalo. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, they still can keep Tua upright. I still like their chances, but looking forward to a great day of football. Looking forward to our shows later on this evening with the wrap-up show tonight. Of course, the LTS show tomorrow night and the Aqua and Orange Insight show, the Let's Talk Miami Dolphins with me and my boy Alex. Hopefully, we're talking about a nice 4-0 start at first place in the division. But looking forward to another great day of football, man.
Scott, go ahead. Who we betting on today?
I have nothing. My New England sports scene is terrible right now. The Patriots suck. The Red Sox suck. We are bad. I took the Jaguars on the money line this morning, so that looks like that's pretty safe. I did take the over. That's not going to hit. I like the Buffalo Miami over. I like the Minnesota Carolina over today. I took both of those. Rasheed Rice over 20. Yeah, Rasheed Rice over 25.5 yards tonight. It's basically a catch, maybe 2 catches. I think he's going to be the target of choice for Mahomes tonight against the Jets, Rasheed Rice. Plus, the game might be out of hand, so we might give him more run than we all think. So, those 3 bets I've already made. Sorry, Sam. I love Cincinnati against the Titans today also. I think Cincinnati's going to blow them out today. So, those 4.
Tanner, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, add another bet there. Over 53.5 yards receiving for Jerry Jeudy because Eddie Jackson's out. So I like that bet there. Other than that, guys, fun time. Enjoy these Sunday stuff. So let's keep it going. Let's have some football. I'll be at the furniture store here later today, watching some football while everybody's out and about. So gotta go mow the lawn, then go drink some beer. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, beer sounds good.
My final thought here is this: NFL, what the hell are we doing with these 4 o'clock late games? 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock late games. There is absolute dog shit games on this 4 o'clock slate. Second week in a row.
Come on, Patriots Cowboys ain't dog.
That's where they belong, dude.
That's dog
Come
shit.
on.
Them in the
I have
afternoon.
zero interest watching.
Yeah, that's
Come
when
on.
you
I'm
get
gonna have
your
to
honey to do this done.
I was gonna say that's
That's
when we
what
get
I
an
did
opportunity
last-
to get some shit done.
Yeah.
That's what I did last Thursday. But give me at least one game that I'm somewhat interested in. You look at these late game slates, Raiders, Chargers, who gives a shit? Patriots, Cowboys, who gives a shit? Cardinals,
I do.
49ers. Who double gives a shit about the Cardinals and 49ers? Like, give us the Dolphins Bills game should have been the late game by itself, the 4 o'clock game. Like, that's the intriguing game. Like, there is not one game. If you get out of here, it's the only reason the Cowboys Patriots game is late is because it's and nobody really cares about them either. They just think that we all do. Obligatory cowboy talk. Get out of here with this bull crap. Come on. What are we doing, NFL? What are we doing?
For 2 years now, the NFL's late game slate has not been that great, to be honest with you. It's always the early game slate that's good.
If you're gonna start I am kidding. You got it, Holly. Well, let's talk about it.
So
There
we
is
talked
a
about it at the beginning of the show.
Swift Kelsey bonus on BetMGM and Barstool Sportsbooks for each get a TD. Barstool has a bunch where they each like 99 plus yards receiving and rushing. A whole bunch of stuff on there for the Swift Kelsey connection this weekend. So there are bets out there for that if you're really interested in it. I did a TD for each of them this week. So
Scott, what were you saying before that about the late games?
but for last year's late game slate was not that good either. Unless Kansas City's on there playing somebody or now Miami or Buffalo.
24
the late game
million
slates are going to be lacking.
That
Yeah,
was the bill.
the late game slates are going to be lacking. And yeah, if Kansas City's on the prime time 4 o'clock or 8, I guarantee you tonight's KC Jets game will draw a ton of people to watch that game, even though it's going to be a crap game.
Who they show more, Taylor Swift or Aaron Rodgers tonight?
Aaron Rodgers is he in the building tonight?
Yeah, they said allegedly he's in the building. Yeah.
Swift gets put on the TV more.
Yeah, because
I'm going to say Swift because Kansas City's going to be winning the game.
Yeah,
because Mama Kelsey's
over 9.5 times.
Mama Kelsey's gonna be right next to her. And Mama Kelsey's the true biggest star of this whole Swift thing. Just so you guys know. So it's Mama Kelsey.
I hope Aaron slides into that air box and then he starts spitting game to T Swift and and then like messes with Kelsey's head and stuff that Aaron's up there, him and T Swift doing ayahuasca together with Mama Kelsey in the booth tonight.
Aaron's more worried about controlling fights in the Jets locker room than he is about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, right.
Just don't punch him in the mouth. Just don't punch him in the mouth. Geno Smith this plane.
Geno style. Well, hey, that does it for us tonight. This morning. Me, Scott, and Johnny will be back tonight for our wrap-up show, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern. We probably go a little bit earlier if you guys want to. And then we'll be back tomorrow as well, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern tomorrow night for the new LTS show as well. We'll have Jonathan on and Jim on. Jim, a little wrestling, a little college football, and a little hockey. Jonathan, obviously, baseball postseason starts Tuesday or Wednesday, so we'll be breaking down all the baseball matches. Tuesday. So we're breaking that
starts. I'll be here.
All the playoff matchups, the wild card matchups, and give a little MLB postseason power rankings. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you tonight. Later, 8 o'clock Central, 9
Go
Eastern.
Bills. Go Bills.
Tanner, hit that outro.
Go Bills.
Life better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep, only scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free.